Steve, we'll start with you. First Major League Cricket season. Can you tell us your impression of the tournament so far, specifically compared to other domestic T20 competitions?
No, it's been great. Really good fun. Playing with Washington, I think we've had a really good squad, great people around, and it's been an enjoyable season to be involved in. I was disappointed I couldn't play last year. Obviously we had the Ashes on at that stage, but to be able to be involved this year, it's something that I was certainly looking forward to, and trying to continue to grow the game here. And it's been a wonderful tournament.
Yeah, you've got a personal connection to the US as well, obviously. So what's been the appeal? Like, why did you want to come here to play here specifically?
I think it's been spoken about for a long period of time at having a crack at the American market, and I think it's been wonderful the way they've been able to put this tournament together. I think you've been able to lure some really great players from around the world, some wonderful local talent as well, and we've seen just in our team some of the guys that have been able to step up. Netravalka obviously in the World Cup was unbelievable. Andreas Goose was outstanding. Obus Pienaar for us, hasn't had much of an opportunity, but I think he's certainly got a lot of power in that 6 or 7 role. There's some great local talent from all the teams, and it's just been good to be able to unearth that, I suppose, and see them come to fruition.
And Ricky, Steve's obviously just touched on that you've got such great local talent, but you've obviously got some really great international talent too. How did you bring them together so quickly and cohesively?
It's always the biggest challenge for a coach when you're coaching a franchise, and I was well documented. I was a little bit later getting here than I wanted to as well, being stuck in the Caribbean at the end of the World Cup. So I didn't really get here until 3 or 4 days before the first game. So a lot of the preparation work and planning work was left to Cameron White and Sean Bradstreet, and Michael Klinger is a big part of bringing this whole squad together. Obviously he was here first year last year, and we had a good squad of players last year that made the playoffs, and we wanted to just try and, increase the quality of players that we had. And obviously with Steve coming on board and Travis Head and Glenn Maxwell, we brought in some of the best T20 players in the world into the one team at the one time. So the squad has come together really well, and I'll echo what Steve had to say. I heard a lot of good things about MLC last year. Of a lot of guys like Shane Watson, who we come up against tomorrow night, was involved last year. They had really positive things to say about the tournament and how well run it was and how much fun it was. And I think it's just got better. It's got better again this year with the quality of players, but whether it be local or internationals. And I think the only downside for us so far this season, we had a couple of bad days of weather in North Carolina. Otherwise, everything's gone along really well. We've played some good cricket. I think we deserve to be where we are right now, going into the final. But we've got to make sure we get tomorrow right as well.
Yeah. You spoke a little bit about it, like where MLC, I guess, sits in the broader landscape of the T20 sort of market overall. We've got arguably, I think, now one of the best competitions going into, and this is our second season. So what do you think needs to be done from an American point of view to get sports fans excited and come down and watch the games?
I think there's still a role to play for the players and the franchises, and I think the World Cup probably missed a little trick as well by not promoting the game more at sort of grassroots level. Getting into school level, I think, is where the next stage of growth will come from. Obviously, the generation of American cricket fans now, we can't just sit back and hope that they're going to help promote the game. I think the game needs to do whatever it can in itself to get out and amongst the younger kids. And what I've said since I've been here, even during the World Cup and MLC, is if baseball is such a big game for youngsters here in the US, and if you go to a baseball game, it's 4 hours. To be fair, there's not a lot of excitement that happens through a game of baseball. I think it's less than 1 home run he's hit per game. And so if you look at it that way, compared to what an entertainment package of 3 hours of T20 cricket can bring to the younger generation, I think that's the way we should be looking at trying to promote the game here. So, it's one of the reasons, and I'm sure even with Steve and a lot of the best internationals that are here, I think they all feel that they've got a role to play to promote the game. Certainly one of the reasons that I'm here. Yes, I wanted to come and coach and hopefully win a title, but I think with the growth of the game being where it's at, I wanted to be here to help be a part of all of that. So let's see. I think next year there could be some other little things done, even if it's just when we're in Dallas, getting kids to come to and watch us train, or going out to a school for a morning when we've got the day off. Things like that. One will help our brand, it will help the Washington Freedom brand, but it'll also, I think, help promote the game through the regions that we're playing in.
Yeah, awesome. And looking ahead to tomorrow, so this is for both of you. Key matchups, what are you looking out for? I guess you've obviously played San Fran a few times now. So what does it look like tomorrow for you guys?
Look, I think we're pretty evenly matched sides, to be honest. And the way it looked at the way that both teams are structured, heavy, powerful batting at the top, which has certainly been the key to our success in this tournament. Has been the way that Stephen and Travis and Andreas and Ravindra and Maxwell have played. We actually haven't got into our middle order batting that often this season. Obus hasn't had a chance to do much. Mukta hasn't done anything, and Marco hasn't batted at all just yet. So our top order batting's been really good. So. But T20 cricket is T20 cricket. It can be one over here and there. It can be one good partnership or one good catch can be the difference in the game. So, look, we're very confident in the way that we played, and we should be. Our best cricket has been really good, and the thing that excites me is that we've actually got better every game that we've played. And when I remember talking to the boys right at the start about tournament play, we don't expect to start playing your best cricket, but come the end of the tournament, let's make sure we're finding ways to get better and better. And so far. We've done that. We've risen to every challenge. To win that game that we did the way we did the other night. In 15 overs says what this team's all about and how well we're playing. So, no, we'll go in confident, but knowing that we have to start the game really well and not let San Fran get off to a flying start either with bat or ball.
Question from Andrew Greenstein for both of you. How does the fact that you played the Unicorns 3 days ago affect the strategy going into Sunday?
I think it helps, if anything. They're fresh in our mind. We watched them play last night in a close encounter against Texas, and they're probably going to be a little bit tired, obviously coming off back-to-back games as well, with one day off and then the final. So, that's a slight competitive advantage potentially. We've had a couple more days off, but look, they're a really good side. They've got a lot of power, particularly up top with the batting, and some quality bowling as well. So it's going to be a good contest in the final.
Z from Crick Exec. Ricky, in the IPL, you coached one team to a championship, right? The Mumbai and in 2015, and one team to a final in which you lost. So what do you take away from both of those experiences that you're going to apply tomorrow, right? Which is, the championship of the MLC.
No, we won't make any more of tomorrow than we did for our first final. We had a really good chat as a group and as a team about, yes, the enormity of the day, but also just saying it's just another game of cricket that's played on a slightly different stage. That's what tomorrow's going to be, with obviously with a result there that we've been looking forward to for the last month. But I think the team that handles the situation tomorrow the best will win the game, and it's about being nice and level and doing the basics well. And quite often in these big games, certainly when games that I've been around as a player or as a coach, if you can keep the emotions down at the start of the game, by the time the game starts, the adrenaline kicks in, and as long as you start quietly, by the time the game gets going, then some pretty big and special things can happen. So that's the way that we'll approach it tomorrow. We've got a lot of experienced players that have been there and done it all before as well. Some of our international players have won multiple World Cups, so they've been there and done it, and that's one of the advantages I think we'll have tomorrow as well.
So another question for you, Ricky. You gave an interview recently to Crick Buzz a few days ago in which you were talking about your competitive nature, and you mentioned that even before matches you wouldn't say hi to Justin Langer even though you played with him for 15 years. Shane Watson is 6 years junior to you. He's talked so much about how he admires you and how much he's learned from you and looks up to you. If Shane comes up to you tomorrow before the match and says, "Hi, Ricky," how are you going to handle that?
I won't see Shane before the match tomorrow. He'll be on one side of the ground, I'll be on the other. It's one thing that I've had to... when you're involved in the IPL, as long as I have been, the Indian players like to get together before the game. They like to shake hands and embrace each other, and I'm the opposite. I like to stay away and just focus on what I need to worry about and focus on for that day. And that's 100% true. I coached a couple of games against Justin in the IPL this year, and I didn't say hi to him until the game was over. Thankfully, we won both of those games, so I could say hi to him with a smile on my face. But no, look, we'll just worry about. We'll do everything that we need to do tomorrow to give ourselves the best chance of winning the game. I'm not and I'm not deliberately doing it. It's just the way that I am. You know, I want to focus on my boys and make sure that they're ready to go.
Steve, for you, you had a tough year in T20s earlier in the year, right? In the New Zealand series, you didn't play in the IPL, and when you weren't selected for Australia, I'm going to quote George Bailey. He said, "I still think he's got an enormous amount of good cricket left ahead of him." And then you come here, and the first time in America, you've captained the Freedom to the top of the table and into the finals. You're in the top 5, strongest batters of the tournament. You've had 2 half centuries and 2 undefeated 40s, right? And a 26 and a 4 over sort of. So, how special has this been for you at this moment in your career to accomplish this for yourself and for the team?
I mean, I'm just trying to do my job, aren't I? At the top, it's about having a partnership with Travis, and fortunately, we've got the team off to some good starts and been able to contribute to some wins. So, it's been a really good couple of weeks. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed batting with Travis. He sort of makes things a little bit easier for me a lot of the time at the top. The way he goes after the bowlers and almost gets them in a mindset of being a little bit defensive at times and not even trying to get you out. So, a lot of credit has to go to him. But, I've enjoyed it. It's been really good fun. I haven't played a lot of T20 cricket recently, so it's been good to get out and try and get in the rhythm of the game and just be involved in this tournament. As I said, I think it's one that I was really looking forward to come over here and play in America for the first time. It's been wonderful, and glad we've been able to have some success and get to the final tomorrow.
So as a quick follow-up, you've spent a lot of, not playing, but you've spent time in America before, in my hometown of New York.
Yeah.
I believe I've heard you proposed to your wife in New York. To talk about, but you haven't played, and now you've played an important role in helping develop, the cricket in this country. Talk us about the sort of how special America is to you and the bond that you're feeling with this country, in all aspects of your life.
Yeah, look, I enjoy it over here. We base ourselves half the time in New York. It's it's a cool city, it's good fun, and like I said, I wanted to be a part of the MLC. Unfortunately, I couldn't play last year, but I heard a lot of wonderful things about the tournament, and I think it's just grown and gone from strength to strength in the last year to what it's been this year. So, hopefully it's a long-term thing. I can keep staying involved and keep helping grow the game over here. I don't feel like I've got any points to prove. I'm just keen to come and play and hopefully, score some runs and help the team have success mainly. That's pretty much as simple as it gets.
And obviously, Pat is now the 40s, I think, so 24. How exciting is that in terms of the future that we see moving forward for what MLC has those centres and that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the MLC's been able to attract a lot of great overseas players, and that's part of it for all of us. We want to see the game grow in different parts of the world, and as I alluded to earlier, I think it's wonderful that the MLC's been able to get this tournament up and running, have a really successful first year, a successful second year, and the game's just going to continue to grow. So, we're all parts of that, trying to make it bigger and better each year and hopefully see the game grow in this country.
What's the general consensus amongst all the Aussies? I'm not sure how much you guys have had a chance to all chat together, but is everyone enjoying it here? I know there's been a lot of golf happening with other players. Is that the appeal that it's an exciting new place to be?
Yeah, it is. It's a huge part of it, and having spoken to a lot of the other overseas players from different teams, there has been a lot of golf being played, and there's some beautiful courses over here. So certainly part of the attraction as well. But it's been great fun. Everyone's enjoyed their time, and I'm sure you'll see a lot of overseas players wanting to come back and play. That's for sure.